Are the dreaded Nintendo ninjas coming after the creator of alleged Pokémon ripoff Palworld? And does it actually matter for the average consumer as long as the game is fun? It's a big question with many possible answers. So join me on a discussion of copyright, artistic integrity, and a lot of comparisons of elemental monsters. So, does Pokémon own the idea of collecting different monsters? They don't, actually, because you can't own gameplay. Imagine if the concept of collecting a bunch of monsters in a game became copyrighted. That would be like if platformers were copyrighted by Mario. If driving cars were exclusive to GTA, it's too vague and would halt a lot of artistic progression. The crux of the issue is how inspired the designs are compared to Pokémon. We know that the Pokémon company owns Pikachu, but what if Pikachu had different ears? Do I own this now? What about a green Pikachu? Is that up for grabs? Look at this totally not Garchomp dinosaur guy. Let's say I'm the judge in this hypothetical case. Now I can see clearly that this is Garchomp, but what actually brings me to that conclusion? Really, all I've got is that it has a similar shape. Does Game Freak own this shape? Can shapes be copyrighted? Should we DMCA high school geometry teachers? But also, is it actually the same shape? Same proportions? But this is not one incident. There are many other standout alleged plagiarism, making the coincidence argument pretty much null and void. Pangullet looks like Piplup. Robinquill looks like Decidueye. Jetragon looks like Salamence. Lamball looks like Wooloo. And Cremis looks like Eevee. There are even more examples than this, but I didn't want to just make the whole video naming examples. But the fact that I could do a video that is just naming examples is a little strange. I'll ask this question. Do you think these heavily inspired pals would have existed in Palworld had their Pokémon counterparts never been designed by Game Freak? If you drop someone on a deserted island that's never heard of Pokémon with nothing but some basic modeling tools and a computer, would they naturally come up with this? The logical, true answer is, of course, we could never know. It's not something you could possibly prove without reading people's minds and knowing every alternate universe. The actual answer is, of course these pals are supposed to be Pokémon. Just look at them. What is so strange about the whole conversation around this is that there isn't anything about these that has exact plagiarism. Well, there might be a few things, but we'll get to that in a moment. It's all just vibes. We all see it, we all know this is supposed to be Wooloo, but the Palworld devs are all just kind of pretending it's not. And honestly, it doesn't matter. Art, by its nature, compounds on previous art. Pretty much every good movie uses a hero's journey in a 3-act structure, which is something that has been refined and tweaked since the ancient Greeks. So I don't see anything wrong with these designs. They're different enough to be their own thing. It makes me feel like I'm playing a Pokémon game without messing with the IP itself. But what about some of the designs that flew a little too close to the sun? I've got 2 examples here for you. We got Grintail's face and Azarobe's hair. This face is down to the number of teeth identical to Galarian Meowth, and Azarobe's hair has been directly compared to Primarina's model. Does this matter? Possibly a little bit. It could even matter legally, I think. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. Grintail having Galarian Meowth's face is blatant right there. You walk up to it, and yeah, I know that face. It's immersion breaking. I'm having fun with all the fake Pokémon, but they are just that, fake Pokémon. No matter how similar Pangullet or Robinquill are to their Poké doppelgangers, nothing on them is 100% identical to a Pokémon. I enjoy this game in that strange gray area where I'm liking it because it's both similar to Pokémon, but it's also not Pokémon. Me and the game, we had an understanding. Yeah, you're not Pokémon, haha, wink wink, nudge nudge. But then you see this guy and it's like, dude, what's with the Pokémon face? Azarobe, on the other hand, I wouldn't have known took Primarina. If it weren't for these people showing side-by-side models, I wouldn't have even made the connection. But this alleged model rip has serious negative implications for the industry should it be true that they took the model and got away with it. You don't want to open the floodgates of artists just being able to blatantly use models previously made, especially complicated ones like Primarina's hair. Both the face and the hair are allegedly stolen in the same way, but it's just easier to draw a face than it is to model the hair. This is not to say that you should be allowed to just take the face just because it's easier. I'm just saying that the Azarobe thing is way worse, if it's true. And again, I'm gonna end off this section by saying that I do not have proof that these are stolen. stolen, so I'm not outright saying they were taken. I'll just say these would be my feelings on the subject should it turn out they were stolen. But yeah, the Pals are Pokemon. They are meant to look like Pokemon. The game is Pokemon, but Minecraft plus Fortnite with a hefty portion of extra violence thrown in. We know it, the devs know it, but won't admit it, and the game has sold millions of copies for that reason alone. At the end of the day, most art is inspired by something else. Each piece of media made and put out somewhere contributes, even in the most marginal of ways, to the artistic advancement of the human race. But there's something about Palworld that's just a little more obvious in its inspiration. Does that mean they should be sued? From what I know, I think that would be a bit much. But look, I don't know all the evidence. There's like 100 Pals and over 1,000 Pokemon, and to look through every possible angle of this situation, well, that would take years. So, just from what I see, I don't think they should be sued. And I think that Palworld is a net positive influence on the gaming and artistic industry as a whole. It shows us that we don't have to be so careful in our originality, and that sometimes a good product is more important than making every last detail seem like it's never been done before. It's honest in a way that not a lot of games are. Do I have as much respect for it as I do for some indie games that are dripping with originality like Hollow Knight? No, I definitely don't. But since Game Freak was never gonna make a game like this, I'm grateful that I get to play some weird Minecraft, Fortnite, Pokemon abomination. Hey, if you like this video about Palworld, maybe you'd like to see me talk about this other franchise called Pokémon too. Check out this video where I talk about why Game Freak had to remove references to gambling. Or if you want to actually watch me play the games, head on over to my live channel. I actually tried out Palworld over there. You can see me formulating some of the opinions that I eventually put into this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.